Life can change in the time it takes to breathe. 6 months ago, my world stopped. My sister Sarah was watching my 5-year-old son Leo at the lake. She's the most terrible person I know. But every current, a split-second distraction, and he was gone. The police called it a tragic accident. No one's at fault. But try telling that to my wife, Elena. Dramatic pause. Elena had loved my sister since the funeral. She scrubbed Sarah out of every family photo. She lost her number. She acts like Sarah is a monster who did this on purpose. Last night I was sitting in the kitchen and I got a text from Sarah. It was just a picture of the drawing Leo made for her. A little stick figure of your family member right son. I started crying. I couldn't help it. Micro pause. Elena walked in, saw the screen, and her face just turned to stone. She didn't scream. She didn't throw anything. She just sat down across from me and whispered, I can't heal, while you're still holding on to the person who broke us. I tried to explain. I told her, Elena, she's my sister. She's grieving too. She's dying inside every single day. But Elena just shook her head. She looked me dead in the eye and said, if you go to her birthday dinner next week, do not bother coming back to this house. I cannot be married to someone who chooses his sister's comfort over his wife's. Sanity. Long dramatic pause. I'm standing in the middle of a bridge that's burning on both ends. How do I choose between the woman I promised my life to and the sister I grew up with? Who's the only other person on earth who loves Leo as much as I do? I feel like I'm losing my family all over again. And this time,
So I've been dating Chloe for 6 months, right? And she is way out of my league. Her family lives in this massive glass-walled mansion in the hills, and me, I'm just a guy trying to survive a double major while working the graveyard shift at a 24-hour diner. Chloe thinks I'm a freelance night analyst for a tech firm. It sounded fancy, so I rolled with it. I figured if she knew I spent my nights scrubbing milkshake machines, I'd be single before I could even say extra napkins. Fast forward to last Sunday, I just pulled a brutal 12-hour shift. No sleep, 3 cups of gas station coffee, and a lot of prayer. I'm at her parents' house for this ultra-fancy 4-course dinner. I'm talking real silver cloth napkins, the whole 9 yards. Her dad, a guy who looks like he owns a private island, looks at me and says, son, would you mind leading us in grace? Now my brain is fried. It's running on autopilot. I close my eyes, I feel the weight of the moment, and instead of saying something holy, my customer service voice just takes over. I leaned forward, cleared my throat, and said, welcome back. Thank you for choosing the biggie size special. Will that be for here or to go? The silence was deafening. I opened one eye and saw her mum holding a silver ladle, like it was a weapon. Chloe looked like she wanted to phase through the floor. I didn't even try to fix it. I just looked her dad in the eye and asked, do you want fries with that? Turns out, her dad actually worked his way through college flipping burgers too. He laughed so hard he nearly choked on his steak. But I think I'm still going to be the Burger King in their family group chat, forever.
It started with a photo, a grainy Polaroid from 1998. My parents and his parents, holding us up like little trophies while they toasted to a future union. Everyone laughed, except it wasn't a joke to them. Growing up, Leo and I were attached at the hip. We climbed the same oak trees and shared the same scraped knees. But by 18, the destined couple comments started feeling less like a cute family quirk and more like a trap. We eventually went our separate ways for college, found our own lives, and I thought the obsession had finally died out. Then came Sarah. Leo's fiancée was everything they didn't want for him. She was independent, sharp, and most importantly, she wasn't me. Last Thanksgiving, the tension finally boiled over. My mom actually had the nerve to pull Sarah aside and show her that old Polaroid, whispering that Leo and I were soulmates, who just hadn't figured it out yet. I had to spend an hour in the kitchen, practically begging Sarah to believe that Leo was just like a brother to me. But the breaking point? The bachelor party. My cousin told me it was just a casual hangout at a local bar, but when I walked in, the music stopped. It was just Leo, sitting there looking miserable, and our 2 sets of parents, literally waiting for us to reconnect. Leo looked me dead in the eyes and said, I love you, but you cannot be at the wedding. It's too much. I wasn't even mad. I felt relieved. The next morning, my phone exploded. Someone had leaked a photo of Leo walking me to my car that night, and our parents were already posting it to the family group chat with heart emojis, acting like we'd finally chosen each other. Sarah called me crying, and for a second, I thought the family pact had actually won. But then I realized, the only way to kill a ghost story is to stop telling it. I blocked my own parents that morning. I didn't go to the wedding, but I sent a gift. It was a brand new camera, so they could start making memories that weren't scripted 30 years ago.
I was 15 when I realized I wasn't just the older brother. I was the backup plan. My younger brother, Tyler, is the family golden boy. Everything he wants, he gets. Everything I have, he eventually takes. It started small. Giving up my room because he wanted the better view. Handing over my old bike because he needed it more. But last month, things hit a breaking point. I've been working at the local diner for 8 months. Saving every single tip to buy a used guitar. A vintage Fender I'd been eyeing at the music shop downtown. I finally got it. It was beautiful. 2 days later, Tyler decided he wanted to start a garage band. He didn't ask. He just took it. When I found him banging the strings in the backyard, I lost it. I grabbed it back and went straight to my parents. Do you know what my dad said? He didn't even look up from his phone. He just said, Leo, don't be selfish. Tyler has a vision. You can just buy another one in a few months. A few months? I worked double shifts for that. Then came the kicker. Tyler wanted to go to this elite soccer camp over the summer. It's thousands of dollars. My parents sat me down and told me they were reallocating my college savings fund to pay for his tuition. They said, you're so smart, Leo. You'll get a scholarship. Tyler needs this for his confidence. I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I just walked to my room, packed my guitar, and stayed with my cousin for the week. I realized right then, you can't light yourself on fire just to keep someone else warm. Yesterday, Tyler called me, crying because he broke a string. I just hung up. For the first time in 16 years, I'm finally putting myself first. I used to think my father-in-law, Arthur, was just old school. But lately, it felt like he was trying to rewrite my 8-year-old son, Leo. Arthur lives for the classic gentleman's club in our town. Tailored suits, golf Sundays, and very strict ideas about what a boy should be. Leo? Well, Leo wants to be a marine biologist, and he spends most of his time catching specimens in the creek behind our house. Last week, it went way too far. Arthur volunteered for the 3rd grade field trip to the local aquarium. I thought, hey, it's just fish, right? Wrong. When I picked Leo up, he was in tears. He told me that while the other kids were doing the behind-the-scenes Shark Tank tour, Arthur had convinced the teacher to let Leo stay back, to help him polish the brass plaques in the lobby. Arthur told him that real men don't get their sleeves wet for a few bottom feeders. I was seething. My kid had been looking forward to that tour for a month. The breaking point? Saturday morning. I walked into the mudroom to find Arthur trying to hide Leo's favorite pair of salt-stained muddy hiking boots. He'd replaced them with these stiff, narrow leather loafers. He actually told me he'll thank me when he carries himself like a proper young man. I didn't lose it. I just took the loafers, walked to the outdoor bin, and dropped them in. I told Arthur, right then and there, in this house, we don't raise proper boys. We raise curious ones. I banned him from school events. Now, Arthur is telling the whole neighborhood that I'm stifling his discipline. But you know what? Yesterday, Leo waded waist deep into the marsh, and he didn't look back once.